Hello, everybody. Okay, so I think I've got a handle on the lockup bug that I've been tracking, but I do want to try and get one more capture. So here we go. Starting off in Oculus Home. Everything was running in here, and I go and start the virtual desktop. Virtual desktop kicks up. And I get my browser, or my desktop and everything all as well. I almost always move virtual desktop screen over onto that monitor, which is actually on the primary GPU, if that makes any difference, where the window is. Join my session in iRacing. And it loads up. With the Oculus.
Chris initialized iRacing data.
On screen,
Welcome to England. There's 0 connected, now with an average iRating of 2,144. 1 hour 12 minutes left of the practice.
Okay, so that's the way I want to run to try and capture the data. But just as far as completeness, we'll run the spectator and everything as well, even though we don't see it on stream. I just want to run everything the same as I normally do when I get the bug. Hey man, welcome to the screen. I think I've gotten to the bottom of the bug that I've been tracking, but I want to do one more capture and see if I can just see with the GPU utilization sorted what happens right after the lockup. The previous captures I've done have all had it sorted by the CPU, but it seems obvious that it's actually a GPU lockup that's the real culprit, and I want to just make sure that the application I think is causing the problem is the one that I'm really getting evidence for. Okay, so everything on the stream PC is going. If you're curious, look in the what do they call it? The channel feed on the stream. I posted the link to the iRacing forum post about the bug that I'm tracking. It has some videos and stuff like that if you're curious. Pit Girl, what time is it? Pit Girl, what time is it?
The clock is now 8:12.
So I don't really have pace here, but there's a perverse part of me that wants to sign up for the next race and just see how it goes. I always want to slow there because I remember the other configuration where it's a tight chicane.
Good job. Personal best lap time, 1 minute 39.271. Good job, Chris. P2 currently.
Oops. Whee! That's okay. It wasn't the best lap anyway. Rain calm. All's well. There we go. Yay! I'm so happy that happened quickly this time. Okay, good. So let's take a look and see what we can see from the video. What's happening, Zach? Guess what? I just caught it, hopefully for the last time, but with the right GPU utilization on screen. So let's see what we get. Actually, I don't need to close that. Let's just go straight to the... Well, I hope it's been interesting. I can't imagine it's really been interesting. But I am pretty confident now that we'll see what it is. Let's take a look. And this stream was actually an excellent sort of overview because I started at the very beginning, started virtual desktop, started the game the way I normally do. So, you know, as far as like historical data, I think, and like providing repro step to the developer, I think this video will be helpful. Okay, so there was an application that percolated to the very top and was red for a second. Let's see if we can see clearly what that is. I didn't catch it. Yep, I think it was the virtual desktop server again. Okay, so yeah, this is how I do it. I don't know if there's a better way, but so that happened right at around 11 minutes and 14 seconds. So I go to the video manager. And you go to highlight. You go to right about where it happened. What did it say? 11 minutes. Okay, so it happens right after this right-hand turn. We'll just end it there. I don't really know. Doesn't really matter. Grab the highlight. Our lockup, I think this must be 06. Create the highlight. And then the magic here is exporting it to YouTube. And recently I've been setting these so that they're unlisted just to keep it a little bit on the lowdown. Okay, and then the other magic is go and look at that highlight itself here on Twitch. And then under more, you can actually download the video. It'll download it as an MP4 file, as a local raw video, which is great because with that I can do frame by frame, you know, step and see exactly what happened. which is way better than wild speculation. Okay, so it downloaded. And here it is with some crazy wild file name. We just call it PR 06. Okay, so if you open it with the Windows Media Player, that's great because you can pause and single step the video, which I don't know if you can with the more contemporary Windows, whatever they want you to use. Okay, so here's where it's happening. Now you'll notice, if we go over before, before it happens, there's updates pretty regularly in things like the Task Manager. And what you do is you hold down the Control key while you press the play button, and that will single step the video. If we go to the very beginning and single step, you can see that stuff changes in the windows while it's going. Not certainly every frame, but every few frames there's some update. And previously when I had the graphs going, it was more obvious because they did update pretty much every frame. But here, as soon as now we're in the lockup, the only thing that you'll see moving on the screen during the lockup is the webcam, because that's actually on the streaming PC. It's not on the gaming PC anyway. So as we step through here, nothing on the computer is changing, which I think means that it's a system-wide graphics lockup. It doesn't matter if it's the VR or desktop or anything. I believe the whole visual system for the computer is effectively frozen at this time. And there wasn't anything that I see unusual as far as memory utilization or anything preceding the lockup. Because effectively what I believe we see here on the Task Manager right now is the last good frame before it froze. So in a couple frames it'll recover. So you can see we've gone through quite a few frames, several seconds by now, and there's been no change to anything on the desktop. And there it recovers. Okay, and now this time it's more concise, or it's pretty much clearly implicating the virtual desktop server is utilizing 100% of the GPU. And this time it's listing the GPU 1, which is the real, that's the 1080 Ti graphics card. In some of the previous captures I've gotten, it says it's GPU 0, which is the integrated graphics on the CPU. So that's what I'm pretty sure is happening. I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. As far as like reprioritizing or grabbing all the resources. In previous, like the very first time I had Task Manager running, I had it showing the graphs, and it showed a GPU lockup, or not a GPU lockup, but a little spike. So let me show you that. The very first time it happened, it happened with the Task Manager running, I had the Task Manager going in this graph view. And I'm pretty certain that this spike on the CPU, little blip on the disk, spike on Ethernet, and spike on GPU 1 were when it happened. And I don't know if because this was in the background and it was collecting the data but not doing the graphics, that when I switched to it, it had the accurate stuff. Whereas right now, when I'm looking at the table view on the task manager, it's relying on the graphic update to show the new data as it's coming through. So I think what we're actually seeing when the virtual desktop server takes over momentarily is that it's doing CPU, Ethernet, and GPU resources all at the same time for just that brief period, but obviously in a simulation racing game, that can be pretty catastrophic for me. So that's what I think it is. I appreciate your guys' support and patience with me while I've been trying to figure this out. But I have pretty high confidence that if I run without the virtual desktop running, I won't see the problem. Because that's what I believe was happening over the weekend. I was trying really hard to get it to happen, and it didn't for several days. And I'm almost 100% certain that I was not running virtual desktop then. But like this video, this particular session shows the sequence of events that I go through when I start up the stream and start racing. Having the virtual desktop running, it happened within 11 minutes, 12 minutes. So pretty quick. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I think, is sign off for now, do some cleanup on the video, post it to the forums, reply to the guy who's the developer for virtual desktop, and then come back and do some racing. So thanks a lot. See you later, guys. Take it easy. Drive safe. And I'll see you in a little bit. Bye-bye for now.